Oh my god, it's a ninja.
You draw a dojin? Otherwise nothing? Because the copyright laws in Japan are different.
We're kind of, we specifically researched, drunkenly, copyright law in America.
Yeah.
They're different in Japan.
They're quite nicer in Japan.
And actually, there are some American dojin and dojinshi that license, they pay for the ability to do that.
But
so
yeah, generally, the reason it's legal in Japan is because the fair use laws in Japan are a lot broader than they are in America, because they suck giant balls in America. But that's a different panel.
But yeah, no, if you come next year for our discussion of copyright law. But no,
Can't do that panel sober.
if you are looking to actually write a fan fiction you want to sell, like a dojinshi in America, and it's happened before, you have to pay licensing fees, which means you are giving the owners of the original content money. Unfortunately, this means, you're
not making
no schmucko off the street can write their amazingly beautiful alternate universe high school Dragon Ball Z. Oh wait.
That was a contradiction in terms. But, the truth of the matter is, probably, if you were in that situation, it probably wouldn't even be that hard to get licensing. Well, it probably wouldn't cost that much. I don't exactly know, because it matters how much. But the real issue is that you have to deal with lawyers, plural. And layers of it.
Layers of lawyers. That's
yeah, so... But, I mean, the other thing is that there are some pieces of work out there that have not only allow fan fiction, published fan fiction of the property. So there's the 1632 universe written by Eric Flint, which now has, it's essentially, every 2 months they publish a book full of fan fiction. And pay the writers professional rates, which is awesome.
I think we had some other questions.
The gentleman in the red shirt in the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of my close friends is on board the Archive for Our Own project.
We actually can't hear you. If you want to come up here and speak in the mic, that would, also
A
works.
close friend of mine works for the Organization of Transformative Works, like the thing that runs Archive for Our Own. And they've taken the legal position that fan fiction is legally transformative work under U.S. copyright law. Is there any substance to that? And we have lawyers that can back them, so.
Maybe?
Is there...
I tried reading actual copyright law once.
I actually did pretty extensive research into this. Is there substance to that? Yes.
Yeah.
But that's what you're asking. Is there substance to it? It's not ironclad. It's still something that can be brought to court and can be argued. You're going to have to, and if that happens, they'll argue, how derivative is the work and how much is the work a copy? How much does the work rely on the original author's, creations? Is this something, they're going to try to argue whether or not this is something that is making money off of someone else's work or something that is making money off of your work. And that's what the eventual argument comes down to. If you have to take it to court, which once again, it probably won't, the big arguments are going to be, whose work is this? You take a look at a fan fiction and they'll try to break it down into how much of this work is the fan fiction author's work and how much of this work is the original author's work. And if it's ruled that there is, there's basically more to it that belongs to the original author, that it's really just cut and pasting different parts of the original author together, then you might be in trouble. But that's actually something that would end up being deliberated in a court and debated.
And hideous detail.
The person in the back left, who we obviously do not know.
I would just say, just speaking from the point of view of somebody who works in publishing, if a corporation or an individual with a large amount of money and the determination to sue the shit out of you decides to do it, your face is going to get the shit sued out of it.
might win. It's
You
still
might
like,
be able to fly under the radar into like giving money to Haiti or something like that. But like, if you want to sell your work on a massive level, that might not be such a good idea.
No, the very first thing we said was don't try to sell your fan fiction. It's probably a bad idea. But no, you have a very good point. If someone is setting out to basically screw you over, they'll find a way if they have enough money. And
honestly,
that's unfortunate.
as most fan fiction authors are like us, you could win the case and still lose your life.
Court fees.
Yeah.
Person right there.
I also work in publishing as a graphic designer, and as far as the copyright for art, if you can no longer recognize the original piece of artwork, then you're okay. I've actually found people using my own, and I've also pulled off websites. I've gone after them. Really, don't do it. Really, don't do it.
The problem with fan fiction, like I said before, the problem with fan fiction is that if we were to use that standard, which actually isn't particularly the same standard, but if we were to use that same standard, if you could not recognize the original work, then it's no longer fan fiction. Then it's just original fiction. You're using original characters and original plot lines and original blah 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 blah. You know, but like if you're writing a fiction and Spider-Man shows up in it, it's freaking Spider-Man. Everybody could like recognize Spider-Man. You're not going to be able to get away by saying like, oh, it's Joe Spider-Man, a different Spider-Man.
It's arachnid folk.
Over there.
I don't know if this is any help or not, but recently the rights holders for the story Rear Window had brought Paramount to court for disturbia, and Second Circuit threw out the case in that the argument about enough derivation thereby allows for protection. That apparently is now being applied to written work as well as visual work. So there might be some.
It's
That's
something
very
that
eloquent
can
of you.
it's something that can be applied to written work. The issue is that welcome to copyright law, the most horrific, complicated clusterfuck of a thing on the planet.
Nobody's real estate.
Oh, true.
Well,
Until
unfortunately,
we can copyright real estate.
yeah, we are not well versed in the laws of fan real estate. So, but no, really, like you really do bring a good point. Once again, the reason why this doesn't particularly affect fan fiction is that any work that is at least somewhat recognizable as fan fiction, at least under our definitions, will be recognizable as not totally separate, as derivative. Which means that by that criteria, all fan fiction fails. Which is exceedingly unfortunate, but then again, don't sell your fucking fan fiction!
Yeah, and if you want to write fan fiction, the good thing is that people are starting to release fan fiction licenses for their work, which is great. So, if you like the Heralds of Valdemar, you can write all the Heralds of Valdemar fic you want. You just have to slag a bit of legalese on the front of it.
And before we go on, and we are going to get to you, I just want to say thank you to the audience, because we've done this fan fiction panel so many times, and you guys are actually some of the first people we've had that have taken an active interest in the legal side of things. So all this research, we like normally we do all this research, then people are like, get to the slash discussion. And like eight or nine people have left, so they're off in the artist alley buying their slash they do picks right now. But finally we get to use this research that we did. So you guys are awesome. You're awesome and intelligent, and we're. That being said, we'll eventually get to the gay stuff.
On the subject of gayness.
No, but
fan fiction.
no, hold on. Someone else had a question.
This is a really random question, but I was asked to settle a bet.
Okay.
They wanted to know if sonetry was considered a dojo.
If what?
Sonetry.
Has anyone here actually read that?
No.
Any of us? No.
I think I'm glad.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't read it. I apologize. We aren't omniscient, but we're working on that.
Sonic next shoe?
Yeah, yeah, no.
So it might be
No, it's not. Spider-Man
No,
Goku.
it's not.
Seriously.
No, seriously,
This is
it's
your
not.
this is your homework. Go look it up. Wow, there's even alright. So we'll take a couple more questions on this topic because we can't make the whole panel about this, or maybe we can.
But do you want to?
But
You decide.
we do eventually need to let the rest of our panel speak. So.
Female.
Okay. Here's the issue here. All right. At the start of this panel, we put forth a disclaimer that said we are going to say the word fuck and we might insult you guys and so on and so forth. We do that, and this is going to probably come back to bite us in the ass. We do that because it really looks good. Do you know how much legal protection that affords us? Nothing. Basically, it's fair warning, and like, if someone really got offended by us for, you know, spouting the word fuck as much as we do, they could walk out of this panel, write an angry thing on their blog, come to us and say, we ruined all of the New York Anime Festival and Comic-Con because my poor 35-year-old virgin ears heard a bunch of assholes in front of the panel say the word fuck.
Apparently we're homophobes.
So someone could do that, and there might be, you know, trouble because of it. But, you know what it does? It may not, you know, hold up as an actual legal argument, but it does make people think twice when they read it. Like, you're basically going there and setting out and saying immediately to everybody, look, I'm not doing this for profit. I'm not doing this to screw anybody over. I'm just an aspiring author, which is great. It's good to know that there are aspiring authors out there that loved your work and wants to do something for it.
And to be honest, it might keep you from getting sued.
Yeah, so
but it has nothing to do with legal reasons.
Yeah, someone might look at that and go, all right, there's nothing really to be concerned about here. But that's a totally emotional argument. It actually has nothing to do with legalese, and it doesn't afford you any protection other than the fact that now they might feel good about you. You.
Yes, it is me. I'm back.
I know it's you.
All right.
What the fuck do you have to say?
I'll tell you what the fuck I have to say. As a writer myself, I started out in fan fiction myself. I've since moved on to both doing fan fiction and professional stuff. Going along with what they were saying, with disclaimers. You can put as many disclaimers as you want. They could still sue you. The weird thing is there are a couple of fan fictions. Now it's very hard to track them down. You probably could look them up on Wikipedia, but take that with a grain of salt. There are a couple of essentially fan fictions that have been sold for profit, and they've gotten away with it. But I wouldn't recommend trying to do it. The one thing I will say, and I think you guys would probably agree with me on this, in Japan, the fan fiction, a lot of it, the doge, what is it?
Doujinshi?
No,
Yeah.
thank you.
The laws are
That is
different there.
essentially fan artwork that's the fan stories that are being sold for profit, and yet, for the large part, unless they really feel there's a reason to it, a lot of the Japanese artists and writers will look the other way.
Congratulations.
Part of that is that the law is different in Japan.
Yeah, congratulations. You summed up the first half of our panel.
No,
Next time, get here earlier.
I only just found the other guy there. I just wanted to say, you know, just be careful about what you're doing.
All right, so on that note, if we don't have any more questions, because I think the rest of our panel is going to pee their pants if we don't get into the rest of our conversation.
That's fine.
Did you say you drink some more water?
Water.
Let's get into the history of fan fiction a little bit.
Jay.
So, Mr. History.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
So, history of fan fiction. Where to start? I mean, you know, you hear the normal, you know, examples for history of fan fiction, Canterbury Tales and Virgil, you know, the Homer Virgil thing.
Wait, hold on. I hate to interrupt you. How many of you actually know what he's talking about?
See?
All right.
Thank you.
I got my hearing aids in and I
You
still
guys
can't even
really
hear them.
are the most intelligent audience we've ever had.